Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. So I have a slight bit of good news in regard to the economy, although it might be temporary, as you're going to hear. As of last week, the Labor Department reported that the number of new traditional unemployment claims filed was 787,000. So that's 55,000 fewer first-time claims as compared to the previous week. And for the first time in months, the previous week's numbers were revised down by 56,000. So not sure how that happens, how they made a mistake and overestimated or overcounted, but that's what they're reporting. So the pandemic unemployment assistance claims, however, jumped slightly. So that's the unemployment compensation fund for non-traditional employees that I talk about each week. That's for gig workers, self-employed people, and so on. As of last week, 345,440 Americans filed for first-time unemployment claims through that system. There were also 1,519 federal employee filings and 898 newly discharged veterans who filed. That means that the total first-time filings for last week were still over 1 million. So still not great, but at least it moved in the right direction for once. Overall, though, we're still, seeing more than 23 million Americans receiving some form of ongoing unemployment as of the week ending October 3rd. So that's the most recent data available. Now, that's a decrease of 1 million as compared to the previous week. So again, better, but it shows that even though the majority of the country has reopened, there's still not enough jobs to go around. And this is likely due to the fact that we recently reached record highs in the number of COVID cases we had reported on a daily basis. And cases and deaths are rising in states where COVID hadn't really been much of an issue previously. So we're seeing in particular Wisconsin, South Dakota, North Dakota, Wyoming, and Rhode Island have pretty substantial spikes over the past few weeks. And right now, Texas has the most cases, the most new cases of any state. Many surmise that the majority of these cases can be attributed to the Sturgis bike rally, which took place the beginning of September. A great deal of the attendees reside in those upper Midwest states. I mean, there were people from other areas, but of course, everyone who attended traveled back to their home states where they likely spread the virus. Even if they had no symptoms, they still could have spread it. And they could have infected their friends, their family, their neighborhood. I mean, they're out shopping, going out to restaurants. And as of last Friday, October 23rd, we hit an all-time high for newly reported cases in one day, 83,000. Who knows if it all can be attributed to that Sturgis bike rally or if it's just a confluence of factors and things opening back up. But, it's no wonder rational, informed people are not feeling safe. They don't want to go out. So if businesses don't have anyone to patron their business, they can't bring people back onto work. And even though the mortality rate has dropped, healthcare workers are getting better. They've gotten more of a handle on this virus, on how to treat it. But most COVID patients still end up with debilitating side effects. And many of them, they're saying, are irreversible, like the damage to your heart and your lungs. So people are terrified. And then you add to that the fact that many businesses have permanently closed. And as I said, others are only operating at limited capacity because they don't have enough clientele. They can't rehire their full staff. In fact, I looked at the Yelp data, and at the end of August, nearly 100,000 businesses had permanently closed their doors, and about 65,769 remain temporarily closed as of that time. So we'll have new data a little further into this month. We'll get September's data, but Of course, it's going to go down a little bit because at least the temporary closures, because things were starting to open back up. But the true test is going to be what we see next month for the month that we're in right now, to see what happened as a result of opening back up. And the states with the highest number of permanent business closures were California, Texas, Florida, New York, and Illinois. Now, having said all that, Yelp did put out an end of quarter report. So they put out their third quarter report that did contain some positive news. So this is a mixed bag this week. New restaurants have been opening up at the same rate seen in 2018 and 2019. And many have created a business plan that would be COVID friendly. So they offer only outdoor seating, their tables are spaced far apart. Others are offering only order ahead and takeout menus. However, back to the bad news, we are headed into the fall and winter. So other than warm states like California and Florida, how many of these restaurants are going to be able to maintain the same level of traffic when it gets cold out? I mean, are people going to be excited to eat outside when temperatures drop? And this recession is going to have a domino effect, just as all others have. So while the people with a higher income have been able to kind of stay insulated, and many have been able to retain their jobs, maintain their lifestyles, they're still eating out as often as they wish, they're still out purchasing items and keeping the economy kind of afloat. What's going to happen when the bottom falls out of the economy? It's inevitable. You can't have 10% of the country out of work and on the verge of literally being homeless and destitute and expect that to not affect the rest of the country, because those people aren't out purchasing things. Those people aren't out helping the economy to come back. They're taking more resources as a result of all of this horrific chaos. You're going to see it domino. It's just the way it goes. And what's going to happen in January? The tab comes due. The tab for the 3 or 4 months of back payments when the rent and mortgage moratorium ends, that bill is coming due. People are going to owe all of that. We are literally on a cliff right now if our government doesn't get off their ass and figure something out. So anyway, guys, as always, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for listening and watching. I will talk to you soon. Take care, and I will hopefully have more good news next week. Thanks for listening to Plants and Politics. The only way we can take our country and power back is to spread the truth and build an army. So remember to like, follow, subscribe, and share on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thanks again.